Greetings and salutations, welcome to the show. You are watching the Wannabe Critic. I'm your host, Gabriel Fast, and I do claim to be the Wannabe Critic. Today we're going to be taking a look at Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5. Now I'm going to say to you this, you can also get the game on PS4, but it's much more enjoyable on PS5, let's just be real. I'm really excited to review this game. Back in 2020, I made a video basically comparing Spider-Man Remastered to Spider-Man Miles Morales. And in that video, I just briefly kind of touched on some things and compared, and just tried to ask the question of which game was better. And after replaying both games now, it's really difficult still to answer that question. And I think this review is going to explain a little bit more as to why. I do have to say, I like Miles a lot. Ever since I've seen him in Across the Spider-Verse, I've replayed this game 3 or 4 times. Obviously, his role in the comics is huge, and it actually made me want to dive a little bit deeper and learn more about his character in the comics. Didn't realize how new of a character Miles actually was, and he's honestly just a perfect opposite for Peter Parker. So obviously, we got to see a little bit of their teaming up in Miles Morales, and we're no doubt getting really excited for Spider-Man 2. We're going to get into a little bit more detailed review here in a minute or so, but I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for taking the time of making it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see here, I would encourage you to subscribe, drop a like, and hit the bell so that you don't miss any updates. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Today, we're diving into the superhero-filled world of Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PlayStation 5. But before we swing into this review, let's appreciate the groundbreaking success of Marvel's Spider-Man and how it paved the way for Miles to step into the spotlight. The original Spidey game back in 2018 was nothing short of spectacular, setting a high bar for storytelling, action, and web-swinging fun. So when the news broke that Miles Morales was getting his very own standalone adventure, we were all ears. Let's see if Miles can measure up to its predecessor, and whether he's swinging high or merely hanging on. Miles Morales as Spider-Man takes center stage, and it's refreshing. His character development and storyline are like a breath of fresh air, and it's not just about donning the Spidey suit. This game makes us feel like we're a part of a significant chapter in Miles' journey. It's not just about swinging around and being Spider-Man, but also discovering what makes Miles as a character tick. Spider-Man Miles Morales is cinematic by nature. The city is nothing short of stunning, and swinging around as Miles is an absolute blast. It's immersive by nature and effortlessly draws you into Miles' world. Web swinging is easily the most important part of any Spider-Man game for the simple fact that it will be the thing that you spend the most time doing. Whereas Arthur Morgan had his horse and Deacon St. John had his motorcycle, shout out to Days Gone, another really great PlayStation game, Miles has his web shooters, just like Peter Parker. Web swinging goes beyond just movement. Myself, along with a lot of other people, are perfectly happy to just throw on a podcast or watch a show while swinging around. It's perfect visual white noise, especially in Miles Morales, because Miles just has a perfect combination of swag and humility that makes him inherently endearing. Insomniac's ability to perfectly translate a Spider-Man in training, especially in his web swinging, is nothing short of incredible. Now, a big part of the game is all about exploration. New York City is your playground. You can swing through its iconic streets, climb up skyscrapers, and even take a leisurely dive off a building. Don't try this at home though, kids. For its shorter playtime, it's still packed with side quests and side content. It does a really good job of drawing you in and immersing you into what Miles is doing. As you play, you'll realize that Miles Morales adds depth to the Spider-Verse. It's not just about being a superhero, it's about relationships. The game explores Miles' dynamic relationships with the people around him, and it's a real treat to see how their bonds all evolve. Even in extreme situations, you can't help but feel what Miles is going through. It's very relatable. Now, some people, including myself, say that this game doesn't pack quite as much content as the 2018 Spider-Man title, but it's really all about quality over quantity. In my opinion, Miles shows more polish in its execution, and it's more focused and set up for Miles' character arc. It's more than worth its price at $39.99, and it's like a bonus chapter that enriches the overall story. Speaking of bonuses and a tiny nitpick, boss fights are engaging but may run a tad long. This might be an effort to extend the game's duration, but it doesn't take away from the overall excitement. In a way, it harkens back to the Spider-Man game boss fights of old, but I'm hoping for something a little more dynamic in Spider-Man 2. And if you're already playing Spider-Man 2, how are the boss fights? Are they any good? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below. And now, here's this. Hey! Thanks so much for showing up. If this is your first time here, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. It would seriously mean a lot. A fun fact for you, many YouTubers actually get most of their numbers from people who are not subscribed. So if you enjoy my personality, if you enjoy the content you've seen here, consider subscribing. I would seriously appreciate it. As for where Miles Morales stands in the grand history of Spider-Man games, it's like a fresh chapter in an ongoing novel. Spider-Man games have evolved, and this one is a step forward. It's fresh, exciting, and adds a unique perspective to the character's legacy. In conclusion, Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't just a game, it's a true experience. It blends storytelling, exhilarating gameplay, and pushes the superhero experience to new horizons. While it's a bit shorter on content compared to its predecessor, it's a must-play, especially if you're a Spidey fan. Miles Morales will become one of your favorite gaming characters, and I can't wait to see more of his adventures in the future. So, as you can see, there's so much here that is so good, and it innovates on Spider-Man 2018 as well. It really takes things that I loved about Spider-Man 2018 and really just kind of innovates on it. I will say Miles' gadgets feel a little bit more like cheat codes in my opinion, like literally having sentries fight for you, you know, the turret shooting stuff, like the gravity well, like, you know, there's so many things that Miles can do that just feels like unfair, not to mention the Venom powers. I mean, it's such a robust arsenal of things that you can use in this game, and there's just no shortage of fun to be had in the combinations that you can come up with. I'm really excited to see how they're going to intertwine Peter's story and Miles' story into Spider-Man 2. I think it's pretty obvious that Harry is going to be Venom in Spider-Man 2. I mean, if you haven't put that one together yet, what's wrong with you? But it's going to be interesting to see how Miles has to kind of help Peter with this dynamic of, you know, his friend being the bad guy, potentially. And who knows, maybe Harry's not Venom, but everything they're kind of telling us, it seems like that may be the case, which I'm all here for. Should be good. All in all, Miles Morales, he's a great character. He's got a ton of style. He's fun to play as. There's just no getting around it. And I will again answer the question. You cannot ask the question, which one is better, Spider-Man Remastered or Spider-Man Miles Morales? You must play them both. You must platinum them both. It's just a must at this point. They're not that hard. So that's my genuine, honest opinion, just to kind of continue my idea even more from my last video, which if you didn't see my review on Spider-Man Remastered, you can click the link here. That'll take you there. I love Spider-Man. I really do. I think it's, you know, kind of what I said in my last video about Spider-Man kind of setting the bar for storytelling in the superhero medium. This is the experience. Like, if you can't get close to this, I don't know that I want it, necessarily. Even in movie form. I mean, the movies and shows we watch have gotten so stale. I would much rather engage in a game where I get to play as a hero instead of watching a half-hearted attempt to sell me on the idea of one. That's my soapbox for today. How about that? Well, again, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. It really means a lot to me. If you have any requests of stuff that you'd like me to potentially review, definitely leave those down in the comments down below. I do have a few superhero games that I reviewed. I've reviewed Marvel's Avengers. I reviewed Spider-Man 2018. Now I've reviewed Miles Morales. And be on the lookout because I'm going to have another review coming out probably in another month or so. So thank you again for all your support. And before I go, here's this. Hey there! Whether you've stumbled upon me through my music channel, my gaming channel, or perhaps a podcast, I genuinely appreciate you taking a moment to chill out here. You know, I've got a real passion for what I do, and, you know, there's just something about creating that keeps me coming back for more, and I really don't think that's ever going to change. I'm really stoked to share this journey with all of you. If you want to see all the various projects that I'm associated with, all those links are down in the description down below. Also, you can check out my website where I like to write stuff as well. I put a lot of sweat and love into this because I genuinely enjoy it, and it's not just work to me, it's a real passion. So once again, thank you so much for showing up today. It really means a lot, and I'm going to finish playing myself out here. See you next time.